Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with Makobura and Miguda this evening, where we want to have a conversation about leadership and governance of our country and news that are making headlines in the country. Before we go into the main discussion, let me take this opportunity to welcome Miguda and Makobura. Let me start. Miguda, how are you? Habari gani?
Kakangu, unanipata vizuri?
Mi nakupata vizuri, wewe ndio uniambie kama unanipata ama unipati.
Niko salama, nashukuru Mola.
Mm,
Nasema tu leo jioni yangu imekuwa vyema. Pia
yeah.
nashukuru Mola kwa kunipatia afya njema na vile vile kunipatia wakati mwafaka katika nyakati hizi za mapambano katika nchini.
Okay, asante sana. Katika mapambano aina gani? Kwa sababu unajua mapambano kuna aina mingi za kupambana. Kuna wale wanapambana na ufisadi, unajua kuna wale pia wanapambana kupata riziki, kule pia wale ambao wanapandana kuingia katika uongozi. Sasa labda wewe utufafanulie labda kwako mapambano yako ni gani, hiyo ya leo ama ya siku ama za masiku?
Mapambano yangu nasema tu mapambano ya kusaka riziki hapa na pale. Napambana ili tupate riziki na tupate tu hela na matumizi vile tunaweza tumiza hizo. Sasa hizi mapambano ya maisha.
Okay, mapambano ya maisha. Nimekupata. Wacha nichukue fursa hii kusalimia Judith and good year. I can see you on the comment section. Thank you so much. Makobura, what about you? How is your day been, and in extension to your evening?
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to first say hi to you and to Miguda and to our good friends, Goodyear, Judith, on the comment section. Just applaud them for finding time. Appreciate them for finding time to join us.
Yeah.
And just like we always say, or we always do, over here their opinion counts, so they can engage us at the comment section, can give us the opinion, and so that we can be moving forward together. Above all, I'm doing good, I thank God. Ninaoma kidogo, mwili ina matatizo kidogo, lakini nina imani mambo yatakuwa vyema.
Cha msingi ni imani. Una imani, hiyo ndio cha msingi kabisa. Kwanza kama yule mtu ambaye ako na imani, unapata ukiwa na imani uko na nguvu, kwa sababu unajua imani iko na. Hii inalinganisha na mama zetu kitambo, walikuwa wanaenda sokoni wakibeba zile, naweza sema kwamba vitu za rejareja zile, wakienda sokoni, akitoka kwa nyumba hapa anaenda kuuza maembe, ama wale ambao wanachoma mahindi pale, wako na imani kwamba tutauza, lakini hujui kama watu watanunua. Sasa hiyo ni vizuri sana kama uko na imani. Asante sana. Kama unatusikiliza ama kama unatuona kwa mara ya kwanza hapa, Katis Knight, Wesley Snipes, asante sana. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Miguda, labda tu nataka kusikia maoni yenu. Unajua, katika nchi zetu za Afrika, mimi nasema kwamba Afrika ni nchi ambayo mi naita nchi kwa sababu ni nchi ambayo imebarikiwa sana. Laban Misiani, thank you so much for joining. We are doing good. What about you? Afrika ni nchi ambayo naweza sema kwamba ni nchi ambayo imejawa na rutuba, imejawa na talanta na vitu vingi. Mi nasema hivyo kwa sababu leo hii niliona kanda ya video ya mtoto fulani. Ni mtoto ambayo ukimwangalia kwa kina ama ukiangalia ama uangalie kwa undani ni mtoto ambaye anaishi katika mazingira ya umaskini. Hapa ni jijini Kongo. So kulikuwa na jamaa ambaye ni content creator, alikuwa ni mtu ambaye anafanya content creation, anaweza akaanza kuimba kidogo alafu anakupatia umalize, ama anakuimbisha kidogo alafu anakuambia sasa endeleza. Kitu ambacho lazima tukubaliane kwamba Kongo ni nchi ambayo wanajua kuimba, sauti Mungu aliwapatia na hata kucheza. Unaweza pata mtoto mdogo anaimba natural, yani ni ile tu piwa tu, hakuna teknolojia ambayo imeingizwa ndani, lakini wanaimba vizuri. Muimbishe nyimbo la Koffi Olomide, ataichukua kwa yani ataimba vizuri. Laban, Afrika ni bara, sio nchi. Ni nchi kwa sababu bara ni jina la ukoloni. Ukoloni ndio walituletea, kwa sababu unapata, huwezi sema kwamba Amerika ni bara la Amerika. Unaweza sema nchi ya Amerika. Ukiangalia Amerika ni ukipata zile states zenye ziko Amerika ni sawasawa na nchi ambazo sisi tuko nayo Afrika, ni kama wanaendana. Sasa ndio maana kuna zile vitu ambazo tulioletewa na wakoloni tukafundishwa tukaamini ziko hivyo. Afrika ni nchi. Na hata ukipata nafasi kukuja kwa hizi nchi za Amerikani ama nchi za watu wa koloni, ukienda watakuuliza we ni Muafrika, alafu utapata sisi wengi wetu tunajibu hapana, mimi si Muafrika, mimi ni Mkenya, ama mimi ni Mtanzania, ama mimi ni Muganda. Unapata kwamba hatufurahii sana kuita Waafrika. So mimi naamini bara ni ukoloni, ama jina ambayo ilitupatiwa sisi na wakoloni wakati ambapo tulikuwa tunaenda katika masomo zetu za kupita mtihani, lakini halisia Afrika ni nchi tu kama Amerika. Hiyo ndio mimi mawazo langu. So nilikuwa nazungumzia hayo, labda tu Makobura, wewe unakubaliana na Laban Misiani anasema kwamba Afrika ni bara la Afrika, si nchi. Unakubaliana nayo?
I don't know whether bara inamaanisha continent or what.
Yes.
Oh, so the continent of Africa. Then we've got, okay. I partly agree with what you're saying, because before the struggle and partition of Africa, of course, Africa was a one country, and then because of the many valuable minerals that were in Kenya, the colonizers started then doing what we call struggling, and of course doing the partition as a way of coming out to divide or to take part certain parts of the continent.
Yeah.
And giving it different names based on their preferences, based on the kind of activities or the minerals that they were finding in this particular in these particular places. And I think that is then how the name of the different countries came in. If you look into that, and how, for example, the South or the North America, you'll find that their view is the continent is a general thing. You'll hear of the South America, and then in it are states. So of course, similarly, Africa would also be like different states. Africa being the general country, and then having been partitioned into states. But of course, the reference is quite different, based on the fact that the people who came and did the partitioning had different thoughts, and they had different views. So as a people, we have no any otherwise but to accept and move on, possibly with a big aim of course building Africa, building the different states, that are in the continent of Africa.
All right, thank you so much. Miguda, what do you make of between bara la na nchi? Kwa sababu Makobura has talked about colonization, and we know from the history, even if you look at the history of colonization, there's some of the histories that actually we are not being told. The history that we were told were only for academic purposes, and they were not in depth of what really Africa is until we reach that. But for academic purposes, if you're asking exams, you can say Africa ni bara, lakini kwa undani zaidi ukichunguza kwa undani, Afrika si bara, Afrika ni nchi, kwa sababu Afrika iligawanywa na wakoloni, wakakuja wakasema kwamba hapa ni continent. Na vile vile ni kama tu nataka kupatiana mfano Miguda, ndio sasa ukuja ukiangalia Amerika, unapata kama New York State ni kubwa kuliko Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, lakini iko ndani ya si nchi, lakini unapata kwamba sisi au hizo ni nchi na ziko na boundaries na hivyo kama hizo. So bara, mimi naamini ni jina ambao kilipatiwa sisi na wakoloni, kwa sababu walikuwa wamekuja wakagawa nchi yetu katika nchi, ama waligawa Afrika katika nchi. Miguda, wewe unasema vipi?
I have a different opinion. I believe that Africa is the people. We are the Africa. And then before the colonial era, or before they came, we were living as African people, whereby we are having our cultures and our customs. And to me, Africans are separated from, because in African continent, we have the Arabs amongst us, we have the Somalis. But if you look at them, they are not Africans, because like I say, an Arab, they are Arabian countries whereby you'll find their descendants where they came from. And also the Somalis, they are states where they came from. So if you go even to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, you'll find many of them there, and they have their similarities, even some of their government structure. Even if you go to Cairo, if you go to Algiers, so even in North Africa, Morocco, most of them, you find them, they are practicing the cultural of the Arabian people, even in terms of religion. But African, to my view, we are in East Africa, West Africa, and South Africa. That's why and Central Africa. That's why you find African. That's why I talk about the people, the African people. And also we, the African people, you find out that we are, like in Kenya, mostly are Bantus and the Nilotes. But if you go to Southern Africa, you find the Khoikhoi and the Sans, and most of the west of the Southern Africa. But if you go to West Africa, you find people like the Asante, that's in the Ghana, and you find people like the Igbo and the Yoruba in Nigeria, and other parts. So the people, the African, and even the dark people, the dark people in skin, were the one who were assimilated, like the French assimilated the Senegalese. Also, as we adopted the Britain government and the Britain system in terms of education, in terms of law, in terms of religion, like the Anglican Church of England, Anglican Church of Kenya, we have the Roman Catholic.
We lost Miguda. So, all right. Thank you so much. Good year. Thank you so much for joining. We are doing well. We just started our conversation, and this is let me just go to the few breaking news here. Yes, so this is what is trending. My sister's first marriage was quite turbulent. Raila and I tried to reconcile them, but they eventually divorced, and she later settled in Zimbabwe. I hope God still watches over our family. Oburu Odinga. That is today when speaking about the sister today. Remember, she's going to be buried on Saturday at Kangoka Jaramogi. And another thing, Rigathi Gachagua has invited Embakasi East MP Babu Owino to join the DCP for Citizen. Join the Democracy for the Citizen Party should he fall out with the Orange Democratic Movement. That is Rigathi Gachagua today. Another again, Rigathi Gachagua said that Ruto ananitisha na 2027, akinichezea nitamwambia ICC, nitaambia ICC wafungue ile kesi yake, atajua mimi ni mtoto wa Maumau, says Rigathi Gachagua. Hey, that is the politics that is happening. Okay, yesterday we spoke about a woman, a mother who was claiming that he is the mother to Bahati. Still on course. Then there was also there's also a father who came. So this is after a woman claimed to be Bahati's mother. A man also came forward claiming to be his father. He says he took Bahati to an orphanage when he was young due to poverty. He insists on forgiveness and request DNA test if possible. You know that Bahati is usually a king of kiki. Ni mtu ambaye amependa kuchacha sana internet. So sijui itafikia wapi. Itafikia wapi? Yeah. Then again, Bahati responds after a woman claims to be his long-lost biological mother. He says, but my mom died over 25 years ago. I personally attended the burial and witnessed her grave. This woman has confused me even more. That is what Bahati says. Let's see again what is happening on the Twitter page. Pauline Njoroge endorses Babu Owino's Nairobi governor bid after detailed prep meeting. And this is what it says. Njoroge, CEO of Ebony Analytics Africa and fellow protester against the finance bill, praised Embakasi MP East Babu Owino for his data-driven presentation on the city top complainants and fixes. The Orange Democratic Movement lawmaker, a former student leader with strong poll numbers earlier this year, has hinted at challenging Governor Johnson Sakaja in 2027 amid ongoing issues like potholes, roads. While critics question his past and readiness, Njoroge quoted the Bible in support: write down the vision and make it plain on tablets. Owino has not yet declared his run. So this is what Pauline Njoroge made. Babu Owino and I first met a contact in 2023 after both of us survived Trump-up charges by the state following the finance bill protest. Since then, we have occasionally met to break bread and talk about country politics. So that is what Pauline Njoroge says about Babu Owino. And Brother Benson Media, did you change the topic headline last minute? Yes, we did. And we are still going to discuss the what was in the main topic. Again, we saw this one for discuss about that. And as we go, something that also we are going to discuss about this is Ruto amenunua ODM. Wanga na Junet wamechukua deposit. Ruto aliniambia atamaliza ODM na ni kweli ameimaliza na inauma sana. Ndiyo maana naambia Babu Owino na Sifuna wakuje DCP. So that is what is going to be our point of discussion, especially the Rigathi Gachagua, the leader of DCP today, was having a presser, or he was having a conversation with the member of DCP, and he made so many claims. So what is going to happen, and how is Sifuna and Babu Owino, who Rigathi Gachagua has said that if they are being sent out of ODM, they can come and vie and he will get their support. So that is a point we can discuss. And this is Amonese Modanyi. Hey, pole kwa kusoma jina yako vibaya. They are men enough. Let them cross officially by resigning to test the waters. They are a liability to ODM. That is Edwin Sifuna and Babu, or who, yeah, they are a liability. Okay, that's okay. Let them try. That is a challenge for Edwin Sifuna and Babu Owino. Let them try and leave ODM so that they can test the water if people love them or people do not love them. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And if you're joining us for the very first time, this is Brother Benson Media, and I'm here with Makobura and Miguda, and many of you in the comment section, and many of you who are watching us. You can also share your opinions on the comment section so that we can engage, so that we get full conversation and we make the conversation quite interesting. Miguda, let me start with you. Rigathi today made so many remarks, especially concerning the by-election. He talked about the selling of ODM was one of them. He talked about, he alleges that CS for Interior organized some good. That is allegation that he is making. He also said that the ODM, if they're not very careful, their popularity in Nairobi is going down, and they will only get majority of members of parliament in the larger Luo region. That is what Rigathi Gachagua said today. Also, he came out after the media. Another big thing, he was calling out the media. He called out the KBC, he called out the Star Media, and he called out Citizen, especially the reporter Stephen Leto, on biased reporting. Especially, he was very categorical on that. So that's what we are going to discuss. And by Rigathi Gachagua going after media, do you think is doing him good or bad? To start with you, Miguda, let's first of all start with the media. Rigathi Gachagua going after media, do you think that is doing for him good or bad?
Okay, thank you for granting me this opportunity to come back. I just want to begin by saying, first, we are in politics as a people. And in politics, we expect such things. Very quite interesting politics.
Yeah.
And even if you have done your political studies as a political scientist internationally, you will find out that even in the advanced democratic state, like most of us do, cite United States of America, sometimes opponents do attack, or parties do attack media, and also media sometimes, to be honest, they tend to be biased, and they tend to lean to the other side. And if Gachagua allegations are actually correct, that is a clear indication that media has taken side. But it's very quite good to attack them, even if they are going to be biased, because when media, people fought for freedom of expression and freedom of media, and media should be neutral, according to me, and media should always report what is correct. But you understand also, even if you are a media person, you understand that media thrives in chaos. And for instance, this is the first time I can say Rigathi Gachagua is attacking the media. But remember, the same media has also been cruel to William Ruto. Most of the Standard newspaper, it has been reporting cruel things from the president. And even if today Leto contradict Gachagua's statement, to me, I can just say, when media attacks you, it is unfair. But when media attacks your opponent, then they are fair. So to me, before we conclude that Gachagua attacking the media is wrong or right, first we also have to look at the context that media is always biased sometimes, because, for instance, some people will say, okay, we must invoke your name for us to sell our newspapers. We must invoke your name for us to get viewers. So either positive or negative, they will still invoke your name. Before I say that maybe it's wrong or right, I can just say, even media itself, sometimes they are taking sides. And we have seen, most of the time, even they have been too much to Ruto, and I've told the Standard newspaper, and even the Star newspaper has been too much to Rigathi Gachagua. I know the more they are too much to these people, the more they get viewers, the more they go, they are selling their newspapers. Like I've told you, you understand what's happening in the media industry very well. Sometimes you can even have some headlines that is incorrect, but you end up achieving your goal as a media personality. So I can say, to me, it is quite detailed, and we cannot just conclude by saying it is wrong to attack the media. But also, media must be put into check, because media act as an oversight body. So it can assume that as it oversight, then it is always right. No, sometimes media is wrong, and media must be called out, because even us, we are checking at the media. And when we call it out, it is proper. Not that when we call it out now, it's going to be too much on us. I can just say, to me, politically, in a political contest, things like attacking media blackmailing you, those are very normal things. They are very normal in politics. That's how politics thrives.
All right, thank you so much. I can say Makobura left, but this one reminds me also back in the few years ago, especially when you go to South Africa, EFF, when they were, I think when they were like 2 years old, since its formation, or I cannot be too exact, they decided that there are some media houses that they said you cannot come to our events and you cannot report some of our events, yeah, due to the fact that they were biased on how they were portraying them. And I can remember there was they had a rally, political rally somewhere, and they ended up ejecting some of the medias who they said they're not reporting true, or these are medias that were allied to Gupta, those days of Gupta in South Africa. So the EFF were really tough on them. And this is Stephen Leto also responded to the allegation of Rigathi Gachagua. Then in his Facebook page, this is what Leto said: "I stand with my Kariobangi North report on Sunday." He said that when he said in his Facebook page. But now, if this is the claim, let me just read for you the claim that Rigathi Gachagua was putting forward, that goons came with. Now, this is something like how did it start? According to Rigathi, area OCS allegedly lobbied tear gas canisters inside the church. That is allegation that Rigathi is laying down. Then what happened is then Gachagua said goons came with police, attacked us in church, and were driven away by Christians. The OCS threw tear gas in church. Then Leto claimed police were fighting gangs, which is not true. He continues, this is what Rigathi Gachagua says. He continued, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen said police were separating guns, fighting near the church. Stephen Leshaw maintained his report was accurate amidst calls for media professionalism from Rigathi Gachagua. So that is what is there. But Miguda, you are here when it happened on Sunday. We saw actually people coughing in the church. And when you go to the reporting, you would see, first you'd see there were two camps. There was those who were putting on yellow, and there was another camp who were fighting. It was back and forth. And that is true. Then also we saw in the church, people coughing and coming out. Yeah, which is true because it was there in the news. Yeah. So who is telling the truth here?
That's a very good question, because we saw what happened.
Yeah.
And the people who have been designated the power to have to be harmed are the police officers. So when the tear gas were lobbed, and maybe the bullets went through the air, it is not the civilians, it is the police officers.
Yeah.
And the burden of proof now shift to the person alleging, as Rigathi Gachagua is currently alleging that Stephen Leto has committed XYZ offenses.
Unbiased.
Now, that unbiased. So it is up to Gachagua to prove, because the accused person has come out defending that actually is turned out with whatever he reported. So to me, I can just say we can't say that Gachagua is correct or Leto is correct or either of them is right. What we can just say now, is up to Gachagua to prove. But all in all, as we shift the burden of proof to Gachagua, we also must maintain that we are in a political contest. whereby there are things that does not necessarily need to be proven because maybe someone wanted to get attention that actually there was offense committed by the police officers, and because the police officers have failed to take the responsibility and the government, the other party which is supposed to oversight or to put the officers into check, that is the media, have also reported contrary to what actually happened. And they are also completely denying. So that's why I've said it can be maybe the media has taken the side, they have taken side. Just like I've told you, you cannot say that tomorrow Leto might praise Gachagua or tomorrow Leto might attack Ruto, because the other day you saw even Leto was attacking Ruto during the news reporting about the finance bill. He was injecting too much. He was injecting too much on the William Ruto, but William Ruto never came out to castigate Leto. And even when Ruto was declared the president-elect by the IBC, Leto was there present, and Ruto also uh, greeted Leto, and he was confirmed later that Leto, today you are here, I'm the president-elect, but all along through campaigns, you have been with the ODM people or the Azimio, and you have also reporting negatives against me. Like I've told you, this is politics whereby blackmails, negative image, character assassination, those are things. That's how the politics works in a modern society. So up to now, I cannot say that Gachagua is right or Leto is right, because today it can be against Gachagua, but tomorrow it can be for Gachagua. So we will say that now Leto is right. So if it is a serious matter whereby they want to square it at a legal level, then Gachagua has that burden to prove that actually the accused person committed 1, 2, 3 or biasness, and Leto is there to defend himself. So that's how I can conclude my submission.
All right, thank you so much. And let me take this opportunity to thank Goodyear for your support. May God bless you. Okay, there are quite a number of things that Rigathi spoke about today. He spoke about the popularity of ODM, especially in Nairobi, where he suggests that if ODM continue to work with President William Ruto, there is possibility that they might not win majority of the majority of seats in Nairobi. And you also talked about the ones in Narok, like the seat in Narok was supposed to be the one for ODM. But he talks about by them working with President William Ruto, they're losing popularity. And he told them that this is now, he has been talking about this several times, that President William Ruto, at some point when they had a conversation, will say that niwache hiyo ODM ndamaliza. He has been constantly or consistently speaking about the issue of the president weakening ODM, before even they came into agreement with the broad-based government. Do you buy that, the statement that Rigathi Gachagua is saying? Two, do you see a possibility of ODM, especially working with President William Ruto, they are going to lose the popularity in Nairobi?
Secondly, I just want to retain my thoughts today. It also depends because, like, excuse me, like what I'm trying to analyze, that you find out whenever the president is attacking DCP, is consistent that DCP is a tribal party. And even the ODM people are saying DCP ni party ya ukabila ya mlima. The more they are selling the agenda that DCP is a tribal party or party of the Kenya people, their fans are happy and their fans embrace UDA and ODM. That's the same way Rigathi Gachagua is saying ODM has been sold to William Ruto. ODM is not in existence in Nairobi. So Gachagua also wants the people to embrace DCP. To me, it is not wrong, because that's how politics work again. Because whenever I'm given a platform to advocate for my political party. I'll not praise your party. So do you expect Gachagua to praise ODM? Do you expect Gachagua to praise UDA? And the same UDA and the ODM people are not embracing DCP. You know, the challenge is that how you buy the views of a politician. To me, I can say they're the same, because the same language Gachagua is speaking about ODM and about UDA, people should now come and embrace DCP and Wiper. That's the same language the likes of Sifuna are speaking, and Ruto, because Ruto is saying, okay, that DCP ni ya Ukabila, the UDA is a national party, ODM is a national party, come and embrace. So that one I can say Gachagua is just doing exactly what the opponents are doing. But I can just say the issue of saying that ODM is gone, there are some also reality part of it that Gachagua is getting it wrong. ODM cannot just you cannot chase away ODM in the entire Nairobi county. That one is a lie, because Gachagua is saying that it is Kalonzo who has been giving them backup, but that is wrong. Look at Kibra. You know, Gachagua is saying even Kibra it belongs to the lawyer, and lawyer will get with the DCP together. You know, Kibra is predominantly Luos. And even if you look at the Ruaraka, you know, even let me also try to say this. In the advanced democracy, if you do your democracy, even you understand the American politics very well, that there are some states that are red states, and there are some states that are blue states, and there are some states that are swing states. So you cannot purport that now 2027 the DCP will sweep the all 16 seats in Nairobi. It can't happen. There are some states that even if ODM is dead and buried at Raila Odinga, Kibra will constantly be ODM, or Kibra MP will be Luo. The same way in the Starehe constituency, from time immemorial, it has been predominantly a Kikuyu constituency, whereby it is a Kikuyu who is being elected at Starehe. Maina Commander enjoyed it for a long quite time before Amo came. So even if you are from a different party or different tribe, you can't try Starehe.
There was this son of Margaret Wanjiru also was for a short period of time, if I'm not wrong.
But I think Amo came after in the previous election. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, all right.
Amo. So and even Steve Mbogo tried the Starehe with the ODM, but he was never declared. And by that time, Steve Mbogo was popular. It was the likes of that 2017 when they were with Babu. Those times for the time for the youth people. And even if you go to even Embakasi North, where James Gachagua is elected MP, that is predominantly Kikuyu constituencies. So there are some constituencies whereby Embakasi East is a swing. That's why Babu was likely elected. But even if you go to Embakasi South, predominantly the Kamba Nation. So there are some constituencies that you cannot, even if you go to Westlands, it's ODM, yes, but remember it was a lawyer person, Wanyonyi. Then before Wanyonyi, there's Guma has been there for a quite long time, the lawyer nation. So up to in my analysis, I can just say you cannot conclude that ODM is dead. Therefore, there is no single ODM MP who will be elected in Nairobi. That's a lie. And also,
okay, go ahead.
If you look at the Nairobi composition, there are some structures whereby if you want to elect the women rep, the governor, and also the senator, there are some factors that must play out. So I can just say, Gachagua, although in terms of attacking that ODM is finished and UDA is correct, because that's what the other people are doing. But in terms of saying that DCP will sweep the entire 16 constituency and only wipe will take that is a far-fetched theory. That one, he should not lie to himself. He must come to reality that even though they want Kariobangi North, but like he was saying that out of 84, he's going to get 74 MCS. No, he cannot get 74 MCS because you understand, even there are some areas like Kileleshwa, like Karen Ward. You understand? If you go to Karen Ward, Kileleshwa Ward, Kilimani, Korogocho, those are predominantly ODM bases, whereby you don't even need to campaign. Just have the ticket, they will vote for you. So I think in terms of attacking ODM and UDA, they are just on the same level. But in terms of dismissing or outruling the fact that ODM is gone Nairobi County. That's very wrong.
Okay, Miguda, let me at least bring you back. Before we had Langata constituency, we used to have Kibera.
It was Langata, so it was Langata,
So
Langata and Kibera.
It was Langata. It was Langata, and it captured all the way from Joseph Kang'ethe. When you go to Line Saba, you came to Ayan Estate, all the way up, right? Then it was divided due to population. Then we had the Kibra. So now we have Kibra and Langata, right? Am I okay? All right, up to there. Hello, Mr. Miguda. Makobura, maybe Miguda is lost. Maybe because you've been in Nairobi you are a Ayaga Nairobian is bringing some saying that Langata, the former Langata constituency whereby Raila held, it was a big constituency, right?
Yes, I understand that.
Then after when they brought in boundary and the electoral commission came up and divided the Kibra and Langata, and then Korir was the first MP of Langata, right? Nixon Korir.
Nixon Korir, yes.
Yeah, it's the first MP of Langata.
Yeah.
Then we had Ken Okoth was in Kibra.
Yes.
So when you look at that population, because now you are dealing, if you look at when Raila was the member of parliament for Langata, and now when we have the Kibra and Langata,
yeah,
do you still want us to believe the way Maguda was saying that the population of the Luos are higher in those areas as compared to those days when Raila was there? Currently,
currently I think the Luos, I think majority of them are in the Kibra. There is a huge population of Luos within the Kibra constituency compared to Langata, because if truly it were that Langata comprises majority, I mean the majority of the voters there are Luos, then I don't think Korir would have taken a lead in the last parliament, if that was the case. Yeah.
Do you know, maybe to also ask you, do you know the reason why when Ken Okoth passed away, the reason why MacDonald Mariga was brought in to vie for Kibra seat by by the Jubilee?
What I know is that Mariga is, of course, there has been this narrative that Kibra is dominated by the Luos, the lawyers, and there's that narrative. And being that Mariga was part of those people who are, something else about Kibra is that, those guys or those people like football, and it's always normal in the low cadre areas. You'll find that the young people always engage in football, and for that matter, Mariga was one of those people that was known across the country, being that he was a celebrity in the field of football, and again, having participated in quite a number of empowerments in that particular area, he was seen as somebody who would then easily be sold to the people of Kibra, and that is why he was brought forth. That is my thinking.
All right, thank you. Let me just check something. Ayaga is reminding us here. We might be wrong. Let me just confirm. I just want to confirm right now. We might be wrong.
Yeah, so of course, ODM has dominated the Nairobi politics. But going forward, there could be that change depending on the hard decisions that ODM will make. Remember that those people who are always happy being in the opposition side and they'll never be happy when they're on the side of government. There are those people who will always oppose no matter what. And being that ODM is currently in broad-based, if they maintain that broad-based, because there's a group of people who have always thought and they know that this government is not assisting or helping them manage the challenges that they are facing or going through. So there's this cadre or group of people who will automatically, who have always loved ODM, liked ODM, but being that ODM, should they decide to continue in the government, then there's a group that will leave them. And again, remember there's what we call political realignment, where certain communities are feeling excluded in ODM, or they're not happy, or now their top leaders are also being treated within the ODM. And that again might then play a card, play it differently in 2027, because the realignment, remember the Kenyan politics is politically, is tribal. I can say it's tribe-based or tribal-based politics, one that is played based on evoking emotions from people, and then using, overriding, taking advantage of that reaction of the people. So I'm foreseeing a possibility where, if ODM is not really serious, because up to this particular moment we've not seen any seriousness in the plannings that they have on exactly ensuring that ODM continues standing tall or continues being united. The only person, if you ask me, who had the capability of ensuring that ODM moved forward positively was Raila Amolo Odinga. His absence is, of course, a tragic thing for the remaining ODM members, because we are at a point where, when Raila was there, or when ODM was Raila, and remember Raila was a politician who had strong stance. If he said he was in opposition, he was in opposition, and whether you like it or not. And again, he was a government on his own. And so even if you were on the opposition side, and that, if you were on the ODM side, there were some powers that in one way or another you would still enjoy, and you will feel that your movements or your presence is also being noticed. But in this situation where there is no strong opposition, it is going to be tough or hard for the people who are going to remain on the opposition side, unless they combine, bring their forces together and act together. If they don't do that, it's going to be tricky for them to capture the attentions of the people. It is going to be tricky for them to speak in one voice. It is going to be tricky for them to come out and make certain decisions or political stance which will make them relevant in the field of politics.
But do you agree with what Rigathi Gachagua was saying, that if ODM continues to work with President William Ruto, they're going to lose their popularity in Nairobi?
I'll just give my take as a political analyst. The supporters of ODM have always our combative, the likes of our good friend Eric Ayaga here. If you analyze the politics that Eric Ayaga, for example, plays in this platform, it is a politics that is I can call it a combative politics, which in other terms, ODM plays a game similar to I don't know whether to equate it to the guerrilla war, which Meguda will explain to you what it really means. I think that is the kind of politics that ODM is playing.
Okay.
There is a politics that if they are getting something positive out of it, they will all join hands and support. But when they want to leave, they will ensure that they are leaving having left you with nothing.
Mm-hmm. But
Or
my question, my
having
question to
destabilized.
you, maybe my question to you, based on the everything that you are pointing, the absence of Raila Odinga and them losing Kariobangi North election, because like we know, ODM used to win majority of seats in Nairobi, and working with President William Ruto. And that is a suggestion that Rigathi Gachagua is now giving, that ODM, if they go on with this, then they will lose the popularity in Nairobi. Do you buy that? Or that is something that you cannot?
Yes. I agree. That's a
Yeah.
point of concern for any member of ODM. Just
Mm-hmm.
like my good friend Eric Ayaga here he has always been concerned, based on the fact that the government has not performed so well. But remember, aligning or supporting a government that is not very productive, in the sense that a government that is not popular among the people. And remember, ODM had always risen or had always made it on the news headlines just because of its consistency on fighting against a government that was not productive for the people. So this government, a lot of people are having a mentality that they are not performing well, and ODM joining or becoming part of it is a threat to them because it's reducing their popularity. And those people, the combative supporters that I was talking about, the likes of our good friend Eric Ayaga here, they are having second thought.
All
They are
right.
asking themselves whether they should continue with this government or whether they should break away and tear the government. They are in that particular point where they are finding it tough making the decisions.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Yaga, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I hope you can hear me. You get me clearly.
We are getting you
We are
clearly.
getting you clearly.
Okay. There's an echo
Okay,
coming from
thank you. There's an echo coming from you.
Fixed your. Can you fix
Can you fix it? Okay, let me fix it and then come back.
Okay, I will appreciate so much, Mr. Yaga.
Okay, I will appreciate so much, Mr.
Yaga. Link huku. Okay, msimama jaona link. Okay, let me try. Makobura, can you please try to send another link? Because anasema kwamba hajapata link. All right, thank you so much. So that is the conversation that is going. And also, Rigathi Gachagua has given another allegation, and this is something that he has always he spoke about it, about the selling of ODM, that ODM has been sold, and accusing Junet and Wanga of selling ODM. I don't know how true is that. Ayaga will be here to share with us. Ayaga, you're back. Ayaga.
Yes, you can get me now.
Yeah, I can get you, Mr. Ayaga. Please, I know you're doing fine, and thank you for joining. My question to you is: there's this allegation that Rigathi Gachagua is giving today. He gave today about the popularity of ODM if they continue to work with President William Ruto, especially in Nairobi. They might lose that popularity in Nairobi, because we know for sure ODM has always controlled Nairobi. Even from the look of things, the number of MCA and the number of MPs, they've always had that higher members of county assembly and members of parliament, especially from Nairobi. Do you think it is true, or this is Rigathi Gachagua politics of the day?
Yes, that is very true. Sometimes even if you disagree with someone politically, but you can tell if they are saying the truth. That is the truth. Because if you look even the last election, what cost us even the seat of governor was working with the government that was out of touch with the people. So some tactics I think can work back at home or in up countries, but here in town it will be hard for them. And remember, Nairobi always endeavors always go opposition way. No government have always have Nairobi in totality. Like 60% of Nairobi is always going opposition way since Kitambo. So I think he's telling the truth. And even about the population of Langata, it is true. Lawyers are the majority. That's fact. You cannot run away from it because even in 2007, the Livondo, Stanley Livondo, I think, was brought to give Raila tough competition in Langata then. So it is something that has been in a display for a very long time. And it can be used this time that now Baba is not around. Maybe Baba alizoea vitu mingi, so it can be brought back, and it will be a very tough for Peter Orero, and they can sponsor a very strong lawyer candidate and bring their man there katikati, and it can be a very tough game. So it is true, Nairobi will change. If ODM goes with UDA, they will have to lose so many seats. They will. By design, they will. Because there is a notion also in ODM where you see the ODM in broad-based, yeah? They have problem with some leaders in Nairobi, like Babu Owino, like Edwin Sifuna. I think the ODM stake in Nairobi is very high. Unless somebody want to make ODM Homa Bay party, because you can now see they're even fighting in that broad-based government in Homa Bay. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think somebody want to make ODM a Homa Bay affair, and very soon it will achieve whatever they want to achieve. But if we want to speak, to take ODM to a national politics, mostly in Nairobi, we need to be very careful. And I think that's why Baba actually were tolerating the likes of Sifuna and Babu Owino and the rest, and all leaders in Nairobi. They are quiet. You can see even TJ Kajwang is not talking. It will be tough for him. Antonio Lodge is quiet. He's not. Antonio Lodge is tough for him. He's not talking. Even Peter Orero is quiet. Even Aladwa has goal shift. He wanted to go to Vihiga. Uri will run for Nairobi. Governor Uri will go for Makadara. They are confused. So there is a lot of confusion. And remember, the Westlands is now vacant because Timwanyonyi is going to Bungoma. I think those are the seats we have in Nairobi. They are about Embakasi East, Ruaraka, Mathare, Makadara, and Dagoretti North, and Langata and Kibra, around 8. And these seats are 17. About half of it also went with another side. So we need to be very careful. And remember, Makadara, the stronghold of ODM, which is Makongeni, is being brought down, and those people are crying, and somebody might take advantage of that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And maybe before I invite in Makobura and Msumama also, I don't know whether you've seen the link. You can come in. How broad is broad-based government? Because we are seeing this infights. Yesterday we saw a protest of marching, especially from women in Kisumu, cautioning Governor Wanga against interference with Raymond Omolo's work. They were protesting. How broad is broad? Because like now Raymond Omolo is the PS, Wanga is the governor. What is happening? Maybe you can tell us if you saw that. All right, Ayaga, where are you at? All right, Makobura, thank you so much. As we wait for Ayaga, I don't know what is happening with Migoda because they keep on coming to the studio and studio.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm saying I've seen what is going on in Homa Bay, and today it was Ahero. And why Kisumu? Why Kisumu County? Why can't this thing just go and take place in Karachuonyo? Because I think Raymond Omolo is coming from Karachuonyo constituency,
Yes.
and they are very close with Kanyada and Homa Bay town.
Yeah.
Why Kisumu? That is only my problem. Why Kisumu? Because if they have the dirty politics in Homa Bay, that there is a supremacy battle between Wanga and Raymond Omolo, who is bringing this mess in Kisumu? Because Nyando is very far away from Karachuonyo. And nothing is taken in Karachuonyo. I only saw elders. They have some press briefing. And why Kisumu? Anyway, let me say, I don't care about too much about the broad-based government. So whatever they choose to do and whatever they choose to fight or the fighting, because if you look at Raymond Omolo, today, if you remove the tag PS Raymond Omolo, that PS is just OD piles pressure and say he must go. What happened with him after that? He will be disillusioned. Nothing. It will not work for him. So I think there are just some people who are eating around him that are thickening his head. Somebody once said that if you want to slaughter bull, you have to fatten it. They will soon fatten. Molo will be slaughtered. And Wanga's head is also on the chopping board. He will soon be dealt with. Very soon, I'm telling you. She has gone extreme, and I think very soon, it will not go far. They will dehorn her and bring her back to place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yaga, for your submission. And, Makobura, okay, are you there? Then I will invite Miguda.
Yes, I'm here.
You heard today the former deputy president are talking about the selling of ODM, and he mentioned the name of Governor Wanga and Junet Mohammed in his speech. And remember when there was ODM at 20 in Mombasa, Winnie also alluded to the fact that kuna wale ambaye wanajaribu kuuza chama tunatembea nao, lakini that usiku, remember the famous that caused like political conversation, and Rigathi Gachagua today is saying it. Do you think this is something that has been done, or there's that process of it being done where be a few members who feel like, okay, now the ODM should go another way, not consulting the people?
What I can say is that there were so many people who depended on ODM, particularly those who depended on Baba. Just like I'd said, Baba was a government on its own, and quite a number of, and they didn't have any other option. That is why we saw quite a number of sycophancy, starting from the political class towards the fanatic supporters. And of course, all these people who depended on Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, they currently are lacking, that support that they used to get from Raila Amolo Odinga. All these people, they cannot survive. Once you've depended on someone and then they are no longer there, automatically you'll have to look for someone that you can depend on. And for that reason, quite a number of them are going to shift to the current president, that is William Samoei Arap Ruto, just because they feel, or just because they know that consistency on whatever, if it is a matter of power, if it is a matter of money, if it's a matter of business, they're still going to be getting all those. And that is why, I don't know whether you saw a photo of Salah, who was a confidant of Raila Amolo Odinga, was yesterday in his State House together with Dr. Buru, who is the who is the party leader of ODM. A confirmation that all those orphans are finding new father, and the father is William Samoei Ruto, and they're going to continue surviving. If they don't continue surviving, I mean, if they find it tough, they will, of course, use all the powers, because they were the insiders of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, to ensure that they carry the whole of ODM.
All right.
And something else that I want to put across is that, remember William Samoei Ruto, the only party that any politician, if you are not on ODM, and if you are not in ODM and you wanted to survive politically, and especially in the national platform, you either had to fight ODM or to join ODM. And currently, that Baba is not there. They have only one solution: to kill ODM. And that is why you are seeing politicians from different camps joining hands, and they all want to give decisions, or they want to advise how ODM is being run. That is why you're seeing all those people in UDA also coming out pretending to be assisting ODM, but of course with the all big aim of finishing ODM, because they know that the existence of ODM is a threat to anybody who is in politics.
Thank you so much. Let me take this opportunity to welcome my brother Msimamo. And before he comes in, let me give Miguda an opportunity to respond to what has been said, that there are few number of individual, actually they've been mentioned, that walikuwa wamepatiwa mpaka deposit. Miguda, do you buy this, or this is a politics is usually daily politics that we usually get from politicians?
Sometimes I can buy it, because this is not the first time we are getting it. Or Rigathi Gachagua is not the author of the statement that ODM has been bought by William Ruto. There were rumors even during the Raila funeral, when people were at Jaramogi University, that William Ruto want to buy ODM. And the same people who are being accused to have sold ODM, the same people Gachagua said. Remember, even when we were convening at ODM at 20 Mombasa, those speculation came out, and none other than Owino Odinga, the daughter of the former Prime Minister party leader, stated that there are people within them who are actually on the bedroom and boardroom and pillow talk to sell ODM. I can say Gachagua might just thrive on the notion that ODM inauzwa, or you just want to justify what we already know, because none of them came out to say who is this selling ODM. But Gachagua has now come out to say Junet and Wanga. So I think he has just tried to justify that, even though you are saying ODM is being sold, but by who? Make this people know. So he said Junet and Wanga are negotiating, and if you look very keenly, it can be true, because they are the people who have been forcing people that you must say 2 term, you must be in progress government. Then you are saying, wait, Baba said until 2027, then from there we'll negotiate. But to them, you find out that they don't want to negotiate. They don't want to wait. They are saying, we are supporting him until 2032. There's no compromise. Yeah. Why are they only 2 of them insisting on 2032 and forcing people? It means nothing is further from the truth. Because me, I tend to believe what people like Winnie was saying, or Sifuna was saying, was saying. So I can just say, if that is the case, we are here. We will know when ODM is sold or not. Or they are trying to create some confusion, but they know they have taken the deposit. But now Gachagua seems to know more than what we know, because he said that even they have taken a deposit. And when I was going through the comment sections, people were saying that deposit is the one which Wanga was using to campaign for the people in the by-elections. That deposit is the one which Wanga was using to move across the country. And when I was also going to another page where I usually get my news, Junet is currently hosting a tournament in December from 19th to 30th, and the winner is going to be given 1 million. So if you go through comment section, people are saying this 1 million is the one which was given by him to Ruto to sell ODM, because on a normal circumstances in those local tournaments, usually the winner is given 100,000. So people are saying, what is the essence of giving a winner 100 million? And remember, there are some cases which are special. People are going to open school on January. There are some pending issues like the bursaries. There are some pending issues like XYZ in the constituency. What is the urge of giving a winner of a tournament 1 million? Whereas we understand even those things I've mentioned to you. So if you go through comment section, in comment section, that's where you get the opinion of the people. Don't focus on the post. If you want to get even the popularity of the people, get who are the people responding. They will say, since Juliet started to host this tournament, he usually gives a winner 50,000. But all of a sudden, today, he's going to give a winner 1 million. Really, it is not logical, because even if he could be increasing, he could even 100K or 200K. Why do you give a winner 1 million? So people are saying, okay, maybe these are the money that they were given by William Ruto to sell ODM. So I can just say, of course, in politics, rumors are next to the truth, and rumors in politics are actually the truth, because everything that has been said as a rumor, most of them have come to pass. Even people like citizens who have tried to post things like Raila is sick, Raila is dead. Finally, we lay Raila to rest at Kanko Jaramogi. So this issue, we cannot outrule that ODM is not being sold. ODM is being sold. And it's very sad that there are some people who have taken advantage of the situation to sell the ODM. But history will treat them harshly. What I can just say is that there are people need to understand William Ruto, because William Ruto is someone who does not have a friend. Ruto is someone who does not care, and that's the heart of the politics of him. Provided the interest is being served, he has no problem. And he's now promising people that I'll give you the position of running mate. People tend to believe him. Before Gachagua came in Kindiki, how many people were promised running mate in Mount Kenya? Even right now, he's promising the governor of Nakuru, Susan Keika, that I'll give you running mate. And I don't know why people are believing him. And it is open that he's lying. He cannot give that running mate. He is comfortable working with Kindiki than any other person. Another thing, there are some people also who are being used. He's using you to achieve his own personal gain. When he want to bring rift between Raymond Omolo and Wanga, now he want to do away with Wanga because he's not going to give her that position of running mate. He's bringing a rift between him and Raymond Omolo. And all these are creation of him. Remember, anytime you want to do anything, he must create some function between two individuals. Then he take credit over it. He knows how, he is the master of the chess game. He understands this thing very well. So if people are not yet to learn, then you will be surprised if you find that most of the ODM strongholds will be dominated by the UDA. Remember, even right now, as I'm speaking to you, there are current UDA aspirants who are busy campaigning on the Nyanza region. So, and no one is calling them out of order that we should do zoning. People are busy, interested on what, and even this issue of, the way Muturi declined to sign those papers, but later he says Muturi was incompetent and he has gotten away with it. So until we understand the kind of a man we are dealing with, that is when we can get it right. But if people are just being confused that I'll give you running mate, I'll give you CS position, then we just follow the bandwagon that, okay, because he will give me a running mate position or whatever, I can just sell ODM. If that is the case, yeah? And my statements must be gotten very clearly by our viewers. I've said if that is the case, then these leaders are getting it wrong, because if someone from the east, like when I was saying the other day that ODM is being swallowed, and I base my submission on the historical perspective, whereby during his time as when there was the Uhuru Kenyatta, when he brought the issue of Jubilee, he said that, okay, let us all bring the Mount Kenya parties together and have one political party called Jubilee 2017. And when they were going into 2022 election, he told them that our party is UDA. We don't want to see any political party. So if you must check somebody, look at the history of that person. This person is afraid of multi-party democracy. Is someone who wants a single party state. Is comfortable with not more than one party. So that's why he told people of Mount Kenya to have Jubilee and UDA. And right now, because there is emergence of DCP and also other political party, he don't want another political party to merge which is bigger than like ODM. So he better swallow ODM or they form broad-based government. They bring one political party, single political party, so that they can end up enjoying that privilege. So to me, I can just say, in terms of selling the party or whatever, the people who are doing so should understand that, I don't understand some politicians. If you're a politician, you must know that this is politics and no one loves you, including your close ally, because your close ally is just a matter of interest. So today, all of a sudden, you want to say that William Ruto loves ODM. What I saw Gachagua doing today. So Gachagua loves ODM so much that even when William Ruto is taking it away, Gachagua is afraid of ODM being dissolved. And previously, Gachagua has been castigating ODM. So to me, I can say Gachagua should be happy because ODM now is we are going to get rid of ODM because that's what he has been wishing for a long. He should be happy. So you see a politician work. So to me, I don't believe that today, all of a sudden, William Ruto love ODM so much that he will want the ODM to thrive in absence of Baba. Or I can say, we can't pretend that today now, William Ruto or Gachagua loves Baba so much that when he's dead, now they will take care of ODM because Baba is no more. And if they could have not taken care of Baba of ODM if Baba was alive. So in politics, a politician, you must understand that even them at their level, when you don't serve my interest, I got no business being with you. So these people are forgetting each and every time that the same person they want to serve today was once their opponent and has never wished them well. So there is this issue of running mate that I'm promising you. How sure are you? And we haven't even reached at 2027. So I think to that extent, I can just say that the statement made by the former deputy president is just to justify what has been said in ODM as a people, what has been said by Winnie Odinga, the daughter to the late Raila Amolo Odinga, what has been said by the leadership in ODM, that there are people here who are working with us during the day, but at night they're selling ODM. So Gachagua has justified. But most importantly, he has just mentioned the names which people fail to mention.
Douglas Kibogong, habari gani? Umepotea sana. We will try. We are not leaning towards any other political party. It is that like today we decided we are just discussing about the conversation of Rigathi Gachagua, especially to reference what he said about ODM. And also Shaima Hussein, thank you so much for joining. And they should learn from what happened to Gachagua with all the efforts Gachagua put into Ruto campaign. Les msimamo, habari gani kakangu? Hello, msimamo?
Unanisikia?
Nakupata vizuri kakangu, niambie.
Mimi niko salama ndugu yangu.
Kwema kwako?
Kabisa ndugu yangu.
Asante sana kusikia hayo. Sasa leo tuko hapa na mazungumzo. Kuna baadhi ya maneno ambayo kiongozi wa DCP leo alitoa. Mojawapo ni kwamba ako tayari kuunga mkono Edwin Sifuna na Babu Owino endapo wamefukuzwa pale ODM. Hiyo ni kauli yake ya kwanza. Kauli yake ya pili kwamba anasema kwamba chama cha ODM ni kama ishauzwa tayari, mpaka deposit ishalipiwa watu fulani ambao amewataja. We kwako vipi? Unaona kwamba haya ni sawa ama tu ni ile tu hali ya kuchacha kampeni na kufanya watu wamsikize sana?
Unajua kusikia Kenge anakwambia mama mamba naumwa hapo ndani ya maji, utabidi mkubali.
Yeah.
So kwa kiasi fulani nakubaliana na yeye, haswa kwamba chama kishauzwa na deposit tayari ishatolewa. Na kwa nini nasema anafungamana na hayo?
Yeah.
Ni matamshi ya viongozi wa ODM. Kuna wale wanasema sisi tumeachwa ndani wa Boko citizens.
Umepotea. Okay, sawa. Nakuja na kabla tunangoja ndugu yetu
pole, samahani kidogo, nilikuwa naweka mambo sawa. Mara kuna kelele hapa za watoto kidogo. Sasa nimalizie tu kauli yangu kwa swali lako kaka ulioniuliza. Naomba nimalize sehemu yangu. Kwa nini nafungamana na haya ya Gachagua? Ni kauli za viongozi zinaonyesha wazi kwamba hapa si mchuzi peke yake, ndani kuna nyama. Kwa hiyo tusilipige jibu bure hapa, ili hali nyumba inanuka nyama. Kauli za viongozi, kuna wale wana stand kwamba sisi tumebaki kwa broad based government, maana tuliachwa hapo na ODM haina nafasi ya kuachwa nje ya serikali, na kuna wale wanasema tuko na mkataba. So katika hii hali inaonyesha wazi hapa ndani kuna ugonjwa huu. Wasiwasi wangu tu tusije tukasemwa na kilio kwamba ODM imesambaratika na pia ishamezwa. Kwa hivyo kwa hali hii inafungamana mimi na kauli ya Gachagua kwa hali kama hiyo, kutokana na kitu ambacho nakiona kwa macho yangu na wasikiza kauli za viongozi kwa masikio yangu, naangalia na kuja na mtazamo kwamba katika hii hali ya mgawanyiko, hawa wanavuta huku, hawa wanavuta huku. Na ndio maana amesema kwamba endapo pengine Babu Owino atafukuzwa na Edwin Sifuna, yeye yuko tayari kuunga mkono na kuwakaribisha kwake. Ni sawa, ile haki yake, kwa sababu tayari inaonekana hiyo dalili ipo, kwa sababu kina Sifuna wanavuta hivi na kuna wale nao wanavuta hivi kwamba sisi tuko na broad based government. Kwa hiyo kauli hii ina maana hao ambao wanasema tuko kwa broad based government basi wana mkataba mkuu haswa, ambapo huenda pengine kimtazamo wangu nikifungamana na kauli ya huyo Gachagua, huenda pengine kuna makubaliano ya wao na ODM kufanya kazi, kwa sababu naona pia wabunge wa ODM siku hizi wamejipiga kifua. Wanasema kwanza, in fact ODM sisi ndio tulianzisha, kwa hiyo tuna historia na ndio yapata ni parcel ya ODM. So katika hii hali tusibambanye na kuficha ugonjwa, tutasemwa na kilio. Asante.
Okay, sawa. Na labda kama bado hujaenda, pia kuna hii mambo pia alizungumzia sana umaarufu wa chama katika jiji la Nairobi. Anasema kwamba ienda kama ODM bado watakuwa wanashirikiana na Mheshimiwa Ruto, ni katika uchaguzi ijayo, ienda ikawa wakapata viti chache katika mji wa Nairobi, kwa sababu umaarufu yao itapungua. We kwako vipi, kama mtu ambaye amekuwa akifuata sana chama cha ODM, kauli zake za leo zilikuwa za ukweli kabisa? Umaarufu wa ODM itakuwa
na si Nairobi peke yake, ni taifa lote. Tusiangalie Nairobi tu, tuangalie taifa lote. Na kwa nini nazungumza hivyo, kwamba tusiangalie tu Nairobi maarufu kwamba utashuka taifa lote? Kwa maana chama cha ODM kiliundwa kwa misingi ya umoja wa Wakenya, likakubalika kutokana na kiongozi aliyokuwa pale, alikuwa hana ile kwamba hii wacha nikifanye tu, ni chama cha watu wangu wa mali fulani kama wengine wanavyofanya. Hiki ODM lijengwa, kikapendwa, kikawa na wapenzi kwa tabaka zote, jamii yote ya Kenya. So kwa kauli ambazo zipo sasa hivi, kinaonekana kinavutwa kana kwamba ni chama ambacho ni cha jamii fulani kutoka mahali fulani. So katika hii hali, mimi kimtazamo wangu kama msimamo, nafungamana Gachagua kwamba kitashuka Nairobi, kwa sababu Nairobi ni mchanganyiko wako, wana makabila mengi yako pale. So kwa mvutano huu ambao upo ndani ya chama, kijakuwa stable tangia mzee wetu mwenda zake Raila Odinga roho yake ilaze mahali pema peponi, ni kwamba sasa hii kila mtu ana wasiwasi na uongozi na mvutano wenye uko hapa. Kwa kitashuka haswa kwa mimi kimtazamo katika hiyo hali, kwa sababu hakijasimama. Kingesimama wakasema sisi tunatoa rais wetu, sisi tunasimama kivyetu, na Wakenya wangekibaka, kwa sababu ni chama ambacho ni kongwe, kiasi kwamba kama kitasambaratika sasa hivi, basi kitakuwa kazi haswa katika taifa letu. So kwa mimi nasema kwa kweli hali ya kushuka Nairobi ni sawa, kitashuka kutokana na jinsi ambavyo misingi ya ODM na pale mwanzo kabla ya mzee wetu huyu kuondoka kuondoka na kwenda kupumzika ilikuwa tofauti, lakini tangia alipoondoka sasa wamekuja wengi ambao wanakimezea mate. Kuna wale wanakimezea mate kwa nia swafi na kuna wale ambao wanakimezea mate kuhakikisha kwamba kimepotea mazima, na ndio huo maarufu ambao unashuka, kwa sababu watu wanajiuliza mbona watu wanaungana na hapa, kwa nini wanaungana na huyu? Huu muungano huu tusichukulie tu kwamba labda unaangaliwa katika kwamba tuko kwa broad based government, but tunaangalia yule mwenye ambaye sasa hivi anashikilia kama mkubwa hiyo broad based government ni mtu wa namna gani? So kitashuka umaarufu.
Asante sana. Utasubiri hapo tu kabla bado tunaendelea na mazungumzo. Bado nadhani utakuwepo hapa tukijadili mambo haya. Kuna mambo ambazo asante. Kuna mambo ambazo zilisemwa hata siku ile Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga alikuwa anapatiwa buriani yake ya mwisho. Na sana sana rais alizungumza, anasema kwamba sitakubali mtu achukue ODM na airudishe upinzani. Na wakati ambapo anasema jambo hili, ni mtu ambaye ako na chama chake, na ukiangalia katiba yetu pia imetoa nafasi mzuri ama inatuelezea jinsi vyama zinafaa ziendeshwe katika nchi, lakini unapata kwamba hautakubali kwamba mtu achukue chama hichi apeleke upinzani. Hiyo ni kauli ambao wengi walipinga sana, na vile vile pale pia gavana wa Siaya aliongea akasema kwamba yeye jambo ambalo anaomba ni kwamba tusiue ama tusikandamize vyama za upinzani, ile we call multi-party democracy. Hizi vyama lazima zisimame, zikuwe zikitetea, tusiwe tuende pahali ambao labda alikuwa na sheria anaona njia kwamba tunaenda katika nchi ambayo inatawaliwa na chama kimoja, ambapo ni safari ambayo nchi yetu ya Kenya labda hapo walishapita kitambo, ndio vyama walikuwa wanatoa. Wacha niulete rafiki yangu Mako Bura, nadhani bado upo hapo. Na wetu ni swali tu ya kizushi, ndio sasa tuzungumzie vijana sana sana katika uchaguzi dogo ambao ilikuwepo, hatukuwa na vijana. Labda we Mako Bura, ukiona fahari wawili wakipigana, kwa sababu sasa ni wazi wazi kwamba kuna ile vita kati ya Raymond Olo na Gladys Wanga, tumeiona watu wameenda kuandamana. Ni siasa tu ambazo zimeanza kwa sababu ubabe wa Jaluo, kwa sababu saa hizi hatuna labda mtu ambaye tunaweza sema kwamba anakuwa ni msemaji wa Jaluo, labda tu ubabe wa Jaluo. Unaona hii vita yao itaijenga broad based government ama itaua chama cha ODM na hao wenyewe? Labda kwako.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I would like to say that consistent fights, just like the word that, the proverb that you used, or the saying that you used, najua fahari wawili wakipigana basi ni nyasi huwa inaumia. Na hivyo basi tukiona vigogo ama if we see the top leadership of the ODM fighting, there's a problem. But again, top leaders, let me use that word, because Wanga is a leader in Homa Bay, and not once but several times she has always been seen as a Kenyan leader. PS Omolo is also a leader, and it's the first time that he's seen in the political limelight, but I can say that he has always he's been seen by the people, the capabilities that he has. He's been seen on the many instances that he has showcased his leadership skills, and that is very key. I would like to say that if they continue fighting, of course, it is first the leadership of ODM. Their continued fight is a disastrous move to the ODM party, because when you see their issues and they're not sorted in a amicable way, then automatically there will be serious rifts, and of course whenever rifts are widened enough, it would be difficult for the people to bring it back or to mend the strained relationship. So it is upon the the supporters of ODM to remind the political leaders or those people who are within ODM that they have no other way but to ensure that they unite and continue with the vision that Raila Amolo used to have. If they start having different or divergent opinions, ones which are being shown on the public, then there's nothing positive that you can expect from ODM. But we are simply waiting for the death of ODM. The other question that you had asked is the problem. I mean, the fight between PS Omolo and Wanga. You know, PS Omolo comes from Homa Bay. Similarly, Wanga comes from Homa Bay. And maybe PS wants to go for governor, or maybe PS wants to, take the leadership of Luoland or maybe Homa Bay. And those are normal things. Whenever we see people having similar or different political dreams, then automatically they would want to fight or to show who has more powers. So many times we've seen a lot of development done in Homa Bay, and some of them have been linked to the PS, who has been seen as the one who is mobilizing. But again, the closeness that Wanga, who is the governor, has with the president has also been seen as the reason why there were some development in Homa Bay. And I think that is part of what is causing a lot of conflict between the two leaders, because they are all looking for relevancy, they are all looking for acknowledgement, and in that quest for looking for relevance or to be noted, of course, watu watapigana and such kind of things. So all these are normal things in the Republic of Kenya, and not just the Republic of Kenya. Not just in the Republic of Kenya, but again, these are things that we've seen in Africa. These are things that we've seen in any political environment, that we've seen people having different views or different beliefs. I think that would be my take. Miguda, I'll also give you a chance to come. You can give us your take on what you think about the fight between the PS Omolo and Wanga. And not forgetting, you can also give us your take on why there's that consistency in the fight. Is there a fight, or are they looking for the kingpinship of Luoland, or what exactly is happening, Miguda?
You can hear me? I do not think that the fight is for them to look for the kingpin in the region, but the current fight, what we have experienced today, is because we had the previous by-elections. But when we had the previous by-elections, there was no unison between the Homa Bay governor and deputy governor. Remember, the deputy governor of Homa Bay supported the opponent for ODM. And after that, find out that the governor removed him from certain dockets, and actually is now the deputy governor. So some powers were taken away from him, and people have been speculating that the deputy governor is an ally to Raymond Omolo, the PS for internal security. Their relationship is what is making the woman governor to actually try to bring confusion that he should cease being part of the broad base, because he want to analyze the broad base and other issues You have had people who are allied to PS Raymond Omolo saying that all the development projects in the Homa Bay has been a courtesy of Raymond Omolo, not Governor Wanga. But Governor Wanga also saying that she is a person who has been pressing for them to come. But I can just say, to me, I just want to retain my thought that it is the president who understands the game he's playing, because he no longer needs Wanga to be his running mate the way he promised her. And to that extent, he knows how to bring friction between two people, so that you can see there is a war between Wanga and Raymond, but actually just want to distance himself from the governor. And going forward, as I've said, it's better he prefer Kindiki to everybody, because they have worked before, and Kindiki take instruction from him. I don't see a scenario whereby he will prefer another candidate. I just want to say that people should also be very clever, that whenever someone is promising anything, do not believe that person, because this is politics. Here you are with a politician, a shrewd politician, a politician who has worked for a quite long time with the Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, Raila, and he understands, he masters all kind of cards being pulled. If someone promises that if you support me, you'll be my running mate. Even Raila promised Kalonzo the very last minute, but later he opted for Karua. I don't buy the idea that the war between those two people is natural. That war is artificial, intended to achieve a certain goal. And there is no coincidence in politics. Most of these things you see in politics, they have been projected to achieve a certain goal. And when that goal is not achieved, we abandon the cause and also pursue another cause. But once that goal is achieved, you proceed tactfully. So it's high time for people, even if you are associating with your colleagues in politics, the issue of trust should not be guaranteed that because somebody did for us this and this, now you will trust that person. So I think that's my contribution.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to ask this to a good friend Msimamo. Mr. Msimamo, Oburu Oginga has of course urged the president to honor the 10-point deal signed with Raila Odinga ahead of the 2027 general election. Do you think genuine enough for this conversation about the 10-point agenda, and why is it that he is being reminded to fulfill it? And of course, having in mind, remember the kind of relationship that he had with Raila before his death. And again, in the African culture, remember when you promise someone such that you'll honor something, mostly somebody who has left, we've always seen a situation where it has to be fulfilled. I don't know what has happened. I think Msimamo has dropped, and good as well. And so I'll just give my take on that. We saw Dr. Buroginga doing a reminder to the president. I think that is the term that I can use. And I think the question that the people of Kenya are asking is, why is it tough for the president to implement a deal that they had signed under the broad-based arrangement, of course, highlighting the 10 major points that they wanted to be implemented. And why would Dr. Buru come out to remind him, having in mind that these are things that he, the president, of course, and Raila did sign on. And the other question that Miguda, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you. I can.
Have you gotten my question?
Not really. Can you?
I'm asking you to give your view on the point that Dr. Buru was urging the president to honor the 10 deals signed with Raila Amolo Odinga ahead of 2027. And the question I'm asking is, why is it the president is taking long to do so? And then my second question that I'd also want you to give your take on is Moses Kuria. We saw him naming George Aladwa as his running mate for Nairobi gubernatorial seat. Of course, signaling early campaign move. What is the agenda over here? Remember, Moses Kuria was a close ally of the president until he left suddenly without, with people coming out to give different views that is being sent to prepare the way. You can give us your take on those two statements, Bigora. Miguda, are you there? Miguda? Okay, thank you. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you are watching for the first time, kindly like and subscribe to this channel because over here we say that your opinion counts. And we give our opinion based on what we think. We are not politically aligned to any political party. We give a sober analysis of what we think. That is what we do over here. And once again, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. Miguda, can you hear me? Miguda, are you there? I think Miguda has dropped. Yeah, and so I'll just want to give my take on the two things. We saw Moses Kuria, of course, naming George Alado as his running mate. And remember, Moses Kuria has a political party which he formed. And he's coming out to say that he's going for the gubernatorial seat of Nairobi. The other day was running in Kiambu, and so this time around we're seeing him coming to the city. And as he's coming to the city, we are seeing him coming or saying that he wants, George Aladwa to run as his deputy. And the question that the people of Kenya are asking is, do they really have what it takes to run Nairobi? And having in mind, Nairobi has always been the toughest county to govern. And the reason being, there's a lot of interest that people have in Nairobi. Interest in the sense that in Nairobi sits quite a number of government offices, and not just government offices. In Nairobi sits quite a number of big organizations, and not just that. Again, there's a huge point at which we have big people in politics or notable people having invested in Nairobi, and for that reason they have a lot of interest and they would want things to be done on their way. That of course is making Nairobi, and of course the chaotic situation in Nairobi, Nairobi having a huge population, a population that of course fully depend on their day-to-day basis activities. So you find that that makes it difficult to control or to run Nairobi. We've had the first governor, if you can remember, Dr. Kidero, who of course did not make it for his second term, and after him we saw Governor Sonko coming in. Sonko, of course, came with a lot of hopes and gave the people of Nairobi a lot of hope. And apparently, it was not easy for him to also finish his term. After some few days, the only thing we saw is he was impeached, and came Kananu. And even before Kananu, we saw a combination of Nairobi Metropolitan. That, of course, was aided by the military, doing a lot of renovation, doing a lot of realignment within Nairobi, something that the people, of course, did not really expect, having in mind that they knew that elected a governor was capable to run. And, of course, not forgetting the other day, the other election came Sakaja, who was before a super senator. And, of course, the people of Nairobi had great hopes again. But what happened, he has also found it difficult to run Nairobi, not because of him lacking. I don't know what really happens, because people come to Nairobi and then instead of doing what the people expect, they simply change and do the opposite. Gypsy Connor here is saying, I listened to Manyora addressing Ruto directly and has emailed him too. Yeah, I think on the issue of Nairobi, it's one thing that as a people we need to be concerned, and my thinking is that we should, the running of Nairobi should be taken back to the national government. And the reason why it should be taken back to the national government is because it is not easy. The people that have been given the opportunity to run Nairobi has not made it. And my thinking again is that they've not made it not because they are incapable, but they've not made it because of the difficult situations within Nairobi and a lot of interest that is invested here in Nairobi. So I also think that the Nairobi county should not be run or should not be placed under the leadership of a governor. And again, it should not be treated like the other counties because there is much that needs to be done within Nairobi. Yeah, so not forgetting that Moses Kuria coming out to say that he wants to go for the governorship of Nairobi, and also coming out to say that he wants George Aladwa to be his deputy is something that the people of Kenya can have a look at. And the question, of course, is that combination a combination that can take Nairobi to the higher heights or to the greater heights? That is the question that we are asking as a people. And maybe I'll want to hear your take, Miss Brother Benson. What is your take on Moses Kuria coming out to say that he's interested in the Nairobi gubernatorial position and he is proposing that George Aladwa be his deputy? And do you think it's a combination that can work for Nairobi?
No, in politics, it doesn't matter whether it's a combination that works. If it's working for them, it can work. But like, if you look at Moses Kuria, Moses Kuria has been viewed as somebody who has been working with the president for quite some time. And him working with Alado, I don't think right now, as Nairobi as a cosmopolitan, you look at it, I don't see the combination of Moses Kuria and Gachagua, and Aladwa running. I think it might be a combination that is going to spoil the votes for other candidates.
Okay, thank you so much. And Adast Miguda, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Miguda,
can
you
hear
there?
you. I can hear you. I'm here. You are very
Yeah.
clear.
So before you dropped, there's a question that I'd asked you about Oburu Oginga urging the president to honor the 10-point deal, of course, signed between Raila and the president. What is your take on that? Why is it that the president is finding it difficult, and why is it that he's taking long to honor an agreement that they did have? Named George Alado as his running mate for Nairobi governor. Of course, this is signaling the early campaigns. Mr. Miguda?
Okay, if you can hear me, I'll proceed. I'll proceed by saying, okay. I'll proceed by saying first, the issue of 10-point agenda. Today I saw the committee addressing the press, whereby I saw Agnes Zani, Gabriel Oguda. They were trying to address the press concerning on the progress of the team. But you know, there's been issues that why have they taken long? If there is a 10-point agenda, there are some which have not been honored. And just like I told, the issue of trust, there's no trust amongst politicians, because maybe Ruto was taking Raila into circles that if I implement the NARCO report, Raila will have his way. You know, NARCO report also addressed the issue of electoral justice, whereby there should be forensic audit of that IBC, and we have a reforms. NARCO report also addressed the issue of police brutality, the issue of extrajudicial killing. NARCO report addressed the issue of abduction. It addressed many issues, including inclusivity. Maybe somebody do not want to address those challenges facing Kenyans because they are thriving on those challenges facing Kenyans. Now, by implementing it, it's like he's going to lose in the contest and doesn't want to lose. You know, there are people who are comfortable with there are people who are comfortable with exclusion of other people. There are people who are comfortable with extrajudicial killings. There are people who are comfortable with abduction. They are enjoying when Kenyans are suffering. But with NARCO report implementation, it was going to bring inclusivity across the country. Now, it looks like
Hello, hello, Migura, can you hear me? Makobura.
I think Miguda has dropped. He's having maybe a problem with his network.
Okay.
Maybe Miss.
And maybe so to add something on Nairobi gubernatorial. Remember, I don't know what has made change, because Aloda was supposed to go and run for Vihiga governorship, and I don't know what has made him to change his mind now. Or that is what Moses Kuria is proposing, because by him deciding to go to Vihiga, it means he's not seeing any possibility of him being elected in Nairobi for the governorship, which I'm very sure. For Aladwa, this is not like I'm underrating him, but I'm very sure, even on a fair grounds, Aladwa cannot win Nairobi governorship. I don't think so. With the kind of politics that he does, I don't think he can win Nairobi.
Maybe, and I also wanted to add something. Just my take. I'm not in any way. I'm just giving my take. I believe that Aladwa is one of those politicians who have always rode on the back of Raila Amolo Odinga. The closeness that he has always had for Raila Amolo Odinga has always made him a member of parliament.
No. Makobura.
Allow me to just finish. And then you'll give your take. We've always seen ratings of members of parliament. Alado, of course, we understand that he's ever been a mayor here in Nairobi for a period. And of course, if you hear his story, he said that it's Raila who made him, or he's the one who prepared him. In matters of politics that is being played on the ground, the politics that we are used for, and especially the politics of Nairobi, Alado is more of an indoor politician. An indoor to mean that he is those people who sits behind the scene, but on the outdoor side, he's not really good. Even if you do an analysis of how he has been approaching his elections, he's of course a combative, but most of times we've not seen him coming out to really point out the issues that are affecting the people. When it comes to matters of representation, of course we understand legislation and everything are the roles of the government, of the parliament. But part of what he has done, apart from him being the chairperson, was it the chair, is it chair for what? For ODM of Nairobians. He has not spoken anything in the parliament. He has not brought any serious bill that has helped the people of Nairobi in whichever way. So I think, and Spike here is also saying my thoughts too. I believe that, to me, if you ask me, Aladwa on a fair ground, and meeting serious politicians, I don't think he's going to make it, even if he is going back for his position as a member of parliament. With Raila, I don't think he's going to make it. Even me, if I'm given an opportunity to run for that particular seat in that particular area, I can tell you that by 8:30 latest, I would have taken the seat of Makadara as the member of parliament elected by the majority.
Okay, but now when you look at the politics of Aladwa, you know, Aloda was also very, very, very much vocal during the Moi time in City Hall.
But those days are gone. Remember the
so that's
currently here.
So that's why I'm telling you, if you look at his political background, he's not somebody who started his politics of Nairobi recently. This is somebody that has known Nairobi. Nairobi, he's like he's in the fingertips. Yeah. And as much as I agree with you that a majority of his political gains he has rode on the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, that is true, because you find that there are so many politicians who knows how to navigate the terrain of politics in Nairobi. They have to study the ground and go where they feel the population is at. You know, so that is his kind of. But he has been, even during the Moi time, the councillor. You know, he was very vocal. Not he was very vocal, but he was a politician even during the Moi time. That is something that we have to do. Spike, thank you so much for joining us. This is Brother Benson, and if you're new or you're joining us for the very first time, you can also subscribe to the channel so that you support us. And also, when we are having conversation like this, the YouTube will notify you. And you will be.
Maybe you can also give us your take on the comment by Oburu, the one that had asked Miguda. As that Oburu has asked the president to honor the 10-point deal signed by him and Raila ahead of 2027. Maybe I don't understand why the president has taken that long, and again I also don't understand why, the relationship that they had, and based on the fact that Raila is being honored, those are the first things that I think the president have done as a way of honoring the man that he himself has, called with a nice name, so referred to as a mentor or something like that.
All right, Makobura, sometimes we need to be very realistic. And Sifuna is the age's SG. And remember the day when Albert Ojwang died, that is the same day that Sifuna, if I'm not wrong, said that 10-point agenda is nothing. And, when you look at the 10-point agenda, and also, before I look at it, what Winnie said, that the only person who was understanding this 10-point agenda was the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. And that's why Winnie insisted that we need to go back to the people. One, You know, there's what we call principle. When two principles come together to sign an agreement, which means they're people of equal measures, yeah, and they understand what they're signing for. So right now, if one principle by any chance withdraw, or cases like natural death occur to what occurred to Raila, what should happen? It is advisable that people should go back to the drawing board and renegotiate those points, which I feel is not going to be honored. Because look at what were, remember what were the 10-point agenda. One of them was the compensation of the victim. You know, when it came and that committee was constituted, what happened? There were lawsuits to say that it was not lawfully constituted. And when you look at the compensation, how will you compensate without the justice? You know, so for me, the 10-point agenda, to me, it was something to calm people down and say that there's something in progress that is working. I do not see by any means that President Ruto being pressured by Oburu to honor those. They're not going to be honored, even with the committees coming in place and briefing. Because remember, this was about to bring the country together. How can you say that they want to bring the country together, yet the politicians are not agreeing? You know, so to me, I do not see, and time will judge me. We'll be here. Time will judge me right or wrong, that if all this is going to be implemented. We are talking about implementation of NADCO report. Yeah. What did NADCO report contain? NADCO report contained including the prime minister post with deputies. And that one is touching on the very crucial part of the constitution, which will require a referendum. Do you see ourselves going to referendum? We are in 2026 right now, because we are 3 days into December. Soon we are coming into 2026. By around May next year, the politics will go full blown. When will you get that time to honor this? Even during the burial of Raila, yeah, Nyong'o did not speak about even those 10-point agenda. Orengo did not speak, because Orengo believes that 10-point agenda was not structured. It was not, there is nowhere in law where you are going to pin that 10-point agenda of broad-based government. It was not structured. And that's why you see people like Orengo do not even talk about it. Maybe Miguda can share with us his opinion in terms of implement. How are you going to implement something that is not within the law? How?
Okay. What I wanted to say first, we talk about this issue of 10-point agenda. The issue of 10-point agenda. Remember when we were in Jaramogi University of Science and Technology during the state burial, Junet said that he is the minority leader and Ichungwa is the majority. And now, I know we laid Raila to rest on Sunday. They said on Tuesday, when they resume back into the house, the first order of the business will be the implementation of NADCO report. I don't know, it is a month since we buried Raila. All those things have not come to pass. So these are clear indication to you that even if they are being accused of selling ODM, it is true they're selling ODM, because you cannot lie to the monarchs that you are going to implement the 10-point agenda, then you know very well it is not possible. Then if you are now being accused of selling ODM, you want to cry. So me, I believe that it is true. It is not going to be implemented. I remember also the broad-based government was never anchored into a law. It's just a written paper, memorandum of understanding, whereby there were no even conditions it was not even more of a, I think it was just formal, but there were no conditions. And also there were no routes when you want to disband it or you want to get out of the MOU, what you need to do. There was no clear framework, I can say. There was no legal clear framework on how to go about it. You know, we have two things here, because the NARCO report and the 10-point agenda, they are two different things. If you talk about the issue of NARCO report talked about those touching the fundamental structures of government, like the executive, and it's quite impossible. You must go to the people. You cannot do it in the house. You must go to the people. And this 10-point agenda is another different thing. So the NARCO report was supposed to pass through parliament. It was supposed to be brought as a bill, and up to now, it is not there. So it means the speaker or the clerk is delaying it in the portal. So these are delaying tactics to make sure that nothing agreed upon between former Prime Minister, the late Raila Odinga Ruto, come to actualize. And NARCO is going to be there, is going to die. Also, this 10-point agenda is going to die without any preparation. That's why we are insisting that sometimes before you rush into a conclusion that maybe Orengo is bitter, Orengo does not want people to be serious, and Orengo has not said that doesn't want anyone to be serious. Orengo was just very clear that we cannot work with William Ruto. That's what he was saying, because of the previous events concerning the NARCO report were not honored, not respected, 10-point agenda, not honored, there's no implementation. Then you want to tell us that now, right now, just say 2-term. Don't focus on the previous. Just say 2-term. We are going to Singapore. We are going to first world countries. The 2-term is first world country. We are going to Singapore. Singapore, how? There are things are pending here. We have the bottom-up economic model. It has not been implemented. NARCO report not honored. 10-point agenda not honored. Then okay, forget everything. Right now we are in 2027. Let us now go Singapore. So you see, this is what we are saying. These people are not serious about taking this country forward, and there's no need for giving somebody another term if all we have lived in lies and empty promises. Because how do you tell us right now? Let's just be logic here. When I was campaigning in 2022, I promised a bottom-up economic model whereby a Mamboga, a Boda Boda guy, I will elevate them into the economy, and they will no longer sell bogas, they will no longer ride motorbikes. Today, they are not even having those motorbikes. The Mamboga can no longer even get bogas. And you want to say, okay, let us forget those ones. We got the NARCO report. Let us implement NARCO report, which we have to go to referendum. Okay, let's forget those NARCO report. Now we have 10-point agenda. Okay, now forget those 10-point agenda. We are now going to Singapore, this first world country. You know, in Singapore, they were like Kibera. Kibera is even better. And you know, we want to transform this country. We can just change that mindset. No, but we are sick and tired of all those things. That's why we are saying the people. I'm blaming the leaders who are working alongside the current regime, because you know very well that there are some things we are not realistic. That's why, not that we are adamant, we are just within our rights, that how are you taking us to broad-based government, in what capacity, what are the conditions, what have the previous things worked on, or are the previous promises delivered? Then there'll be other stories that, oh, you can't do it in one day, it must take time, give us next year, next month, and we are in 2027. Oh, now it is campaign time, we will. So there's a problem as a people. We have to agree, even if you feel bad or offended, but the reality is that there's a problem in this country. Things have not been honored, and even the lieutenants who are Raila's, I can say Raila's head, people like Junet, are lying to the Raila supporters, then today they're kind of okay. That's why they are being found guilty of selling ODM. So what I want to say is that if you have a listening ear, sometimes when someone speaks, try to listen to that person before come to conclusion that, oh, because you are outside, you are not in government, now you can speak anyhow. Oh, you are never called, you are non-performance. But why can't you give a listening here? Because somebody is just trying to make things like, let us live. Someone is trying to tell us that, okay, forget everything. We are in Kenya 2026. Let us support the ex-government, forget everything, to term. Period. No comment, no suggestion, no view. Follow me. If you don't follow me, I'm killing you. If you don't follow me, I'm not giving you certificate for the ODM. If you don't follow me, I'm not going. I'm going. So you see, those are old politics. They're not going to apply in this 2027. We know very well that if something is wrong, it's wrong, and if you got an opportunity to interpolling session, try to do the right thing, and also let us try to listen to some voice of reasons when they come to speak to us. Not that we are blinded, that we are going with the wave. That's why I'm still saying we still have a problem going forward. Makubura, going forward, we must be very careful as a nation that let us not be swept away. That because okay, things are we are where we are. What do we do now? Okay, we are going to Singapore. Let us preach about Singapore and Singapore, 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 Singapore. What about other pending issues?
Okay, thank you so much. Umesema hakuna cha kuimba Singapore, Singapore, Singapore. And I think that's a good move, and I partly agree with you that before we make a political move, let us do an evaluation. Let us look at the overview of what we are really getting into, because in many instances we've seen political class make decisions which are not really favoring the citizens, but we've seen them making decisions which are favoring their own interest. So we need to be very keen, do a proper valuation of what really we want to get into before we make the decision. Because the many times we follow the political class, they've not really had good interest of the people, but more of the interest they've had is their own personal interest. One, of course, that is that if is satisfied, then they do not think about the other. I mean, the citizens or about the people. So it is upon us as a citizen or as the people of Kenya to do a proper. To get to understand what really are the interests of the political class. Because if we don't, most of times we'll always get ourselves into serious problems where we have leaders who do not understand their role, problems where we have leaders who cannot acknowledge the presence of the people and the power of the people. We will have problems or leaders who are going to parliament instead of making laws which are then supposed to be assisting the people, but of course they will be making laws which are contrary to the wishes of the people. So all this we can do when we clearly and keenly do an evaluation of what we want and where we want to go to, so that we don't make the wrong decisions or choices. I think, Mr. Miguda, I don't know whether there's anything that is still pending on your side. Maybe Miguda, my last question to you, and then you'll give us your last remarks, is the LSK. The LSK is warning the political class of the chaos ahead of 2027, and the Law Society of Kenya, of course, the LSK, has issued a stunt warning. Kenya is sliding into political chaos. Their statement, of course, criticizes the IBC's handling of the recent by-election, citing violence, which we witnessed in almost all the by-elections. Of course, bloodshed. Remember what we saw: people being, um, People, some of them were even killed, people being butchered, and of course the disorganizations. And of course, the LSK fears that if this trend continues, remember we live in Kenya and we know how elections are taken serious. And remember what we witnessed in 2007, 2008, post-election. The LSK are warning that if this trend continues, Kenya could, of course, reverse its democratic gains before 2027 general election. What is your take on the general view, Mr. Miguda? And then you'll give us your final remarks.
General view and my final thought. We have to be serious as a nation, and we put aside our differences, our tribes, our interest, then we focused on one agenda that you must transform this country so that even if it doesn't favor me, it favors the future generation across the board. Because we can't live this way in this country, whereby each and every time we get it wrong and we know where the problem is. And these people also keep on repeating the same mistakes. So as a people, we need to ensure that we oversight and put these people onto check. And if there is any leader who is lying to the people, he should be brought so that he can speak the truth and realistic promises and realistic functions that can be undertaken. All this narrative that I'm good to drive narrative, I'm a good orator. So what if you are good in driving narratives and orator? How is that driving good narrative and orator assisting common wananchi? How does it solve the issue of universal health coverage? Because in universal health coverage, it cuts across, irrespective of your tribe, irrespective of your race, where you're coming from. If it is universally, it will cover everybody in each and every village and every town and every urban centers. We should ensure that we solve issues with education that can serve each and every person. Better housing, better infrastructure, clean water. We should ensure that it works for everyone, irrespective where you are. And also the taxation, the tax rates, the house levy, the fuel levy, they should be moderate so that when we are moving as a country, we move in the right direction, not the wrong direction. That is my general remarks. But this issue or system whereby each and every circle, politicians come to the people, they lie, they get away with it, they change the lie, they get away with it. So each and every season, a new lie, a new strategy. But actually, they are doing nothing. That one should come to an end very expeditiously. We should get rid of it. My final thought, I just want to appreciate our viewers who came to the show and who have been with us up to now. I would like to appreciate our good friend and also pass my greetings to Goodia, Gypsy Corner. I never greeted you when you pass your greetings to me. And also appreciate our good friend and age mate, Judith Karita. I also appreciate Douglas Kibogong. I saw Shaim Hussein. And also, I was able to see Eric Ayag actually. Bro Benson Makubura for hosting. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. Allow me to as well acknowledge Brother Benson for also finding time to be with us. We really appreciate. Not forgetting Eric, who also joined us. We appreciate as well. And Msimamo also came. We really appreciate. On the comment section, allow me to, of course, acknowledge everyone who joined, starting with Goodyear. Mark, I saw Shaima, I saw Spike, I saw Judith, I saw Douglas Kibogong, I saw a good friend, Laban Misiani. I saw, of course, Eric, amongst others. We really appreciate. I'm not forgetting Goodyear, thank you so much. I saw you gave membership for a number of people over here. We really appreciate. Thank you, Goodyear, for your consistency on supporting this channel. We really appreciate. And thank you, of course, for always motivating us and reminding us that we are on the right track. To those of you who are watching, we really appreciate. We ask you to kindly like and of course subscribe if you're watching for the first time. If you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. We will always be grateful. And so I want to take this opportunity to appreciate once again everyone, of course, starting from the host side, Brother Ben, Miguda, Eric, Msimamo. Today I didn't see our good friend Joseph. Joseph has always been joining, and leo sijamuona na sijaona hata text yake. I hope wherever he is okay. And again acknowledging the gift of 5 members, or the membership gift that was given by Goodyear. We really appreciate. Thank you so much. And I want to take this opportunity now to wish you all, of course, a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. We really appreciate. May God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Thank you, and bye-bye.